Too much of everything is bad.
Exactly.
Too much of everything is absolutely bad. What if I say, well, who for no 100,000 Ghana cedis? Over return it to the police station. Say, oh, for a car, 100,000 Ghana cedis. Over reported. We won't, yeah, yeah. We are not saying, say, don't listen to parents. No. Because even the Bible says, sɛ wodi w'anya wo na ne w'agya ni a wonkwa da bɛware wɔ asase yi so.
Welcome to Tables with Fee. Around this table, we talk about people, purpose, and the impact that we make together. So pull up a chair, sit down, enjoy this conversation, and say something in the comment section. Well, today promises to be another exciting episode on Tables with Fee podcast. And if you don't watch this to the end, you'll miss a lot of information that will help you. Today, my guest is none other than a special person dear to my heart. He is my boss, my friend, my brother. He's Mr. Ernest Ade. He is the administrator of Ade Memorial Institute located in Budumbram, Gomoa East District Assembly. And that is where I work at, and that is where this studio is located at. And so you can imagine the excitement that I have having to host my boss. And we are going to have a powerful, beautiful conversation today. So he has a TikTok channel and it's all Shapas. He talks about relationship. And so today we are going to talk about relationship and I hope you enjoy. So without much further ado, I will introduce my boss, Mr. Ernest. Welcome to Tables with Fee.
Thank you.
So you talk about relationship, but today I want us to talk about your personal experience when it comes to relationship, because often when people are talking about relationship, they are advising people. We talk deep down from our experience, but to the person that we are advising or we are sharing the knowledge to, they don't quite understand us because they think we are just saying anything at all. What is the most difficult part about relationship that you wish people knew or that you have experienced yourself?
Okay, thank you. To talk about it, I would start by um, explaining what relationship is. In the first place, more often we look at relationship from a perspective whereby we think it's just about attraction, mere attraction, and nothing else. But relationships, it goes way beyond that. You need to grow a relationship. You need to develop strong feelings. You need to stand by each other and then be committed. It's a commitment between two people. So you can't just be in a relationship whereby there is no communication, there is no care, there is no love, there is no attention. You need to develop all these emotional feelings before you call it a relationship.
But that's a very interesting point you have there. Does relationship equals love? Because recently or lately, when people say they're in a relationship, it's hard to imagine whether they really love themselves or it is a transaction that you're going through. And if you are putting in emotion, then it's more or less like you are entering into a love transaction.
Okay, so to my best of knowledge, relationship will be an aspect of loving someone because I can choose to be in relationship with person A But deep inside me, I love person B. That makes it two different things altogether.
So let's get right down to the point. We go to we go to meet people, and or let me put it this way: if relationship is a separate thing, let's even bring it down to this word that has been thrown about easily these days, and that is dating. It looks like Ghanaians are cultivating, or we are copying so much from other people, that meanings into words and the weight of these meanings into the words that we used to have nowadays don't mean anything, because you talk about dating and people often assume it's take somebody out to study somebody, but then when you take one person out one day, then we classify it as relationship. If it happens the second time, we assume that we are in a relationship. If it goes on for the third time, then we assume that we have fallen in love. All this while, there is an expectation from either the man or the woman. When do we actually know that we are in a relationship, we are falling in love, and now we can build on it? Because I'm thinking this misunderstanding or misconception about into these words are the causes of broken hearts that we have been going through recently.
I like the last word, broken hearts. I believe most of the viewers must have passed through such experiences,
I wouldn't doubt it.
broken hearts.
Yeah.
I've been a victim once or twice, but I'm still strong. Yes.
Oh,
With your question, what Ghanaians do is we have copied too much of the Western culture, and it's way above what we even expected. Because dating someone, um, I can choose to date you and won't have any emotional feelings. I'm just dating. I'm trying to know more about you. I don't know if, for the benefit of viewers, we can blend our local
sure. We should do
language to,
that.
yes, because
We should
most
do
of them would prefer that.
Yeah.
Yes. So with what I was saying, I could choose to date person A. Maybe if I use someone's name, my partner will get angry. So let me use person A and person B.
Sure.
I can choose to date person A for a couple of months or whatever, just to study the person, know more about the person. Usually, we through our school, we realize dating isn't a word even in our academic whatever. We don't have anything like dating. It was courtship. You court to know the person, know what he or she likes. If there are certain things you need to cultivate in order to make both of you happy, you talk about things. But now we've moved from courtship to dating. And I believe most Ghanaians now even know they are the same. It's the same thing, dating and then courtship. That is what we are doing. But that is not it. It is a very different thing altogether. Because I can date you, at the end of the day, nothing will work out between us. But if I am courting, I court to know absolutely everything about you. And mostly that should end in marriage. But more often in our societies, we realize people date even people date for a week and then they break up because we are more focused on intimacy. We are more focused on getting the person into our beds. We don't mind knowing A, knowing B, knowing what type of, let's say, the sickle cells and all that. We don't check all those. All we know is getting the person into our bed. One or two, maybe I'm okay. But that is not how it's supposed to be.
So I get you and I agree with you 100%. I mean, when I was growing up, I had a dream that I would keep my puberty, and then the first person that I am lucky enough to get into a relationship with will be the person that I will marry. And then, like this popular joke, I had to meet the children of Pharaoh and children of all these people. Like, I had to meet a lot of people and try to study them, and some of them would go well, some of them wouldn't go well. I have also gone through a couple of broken hearts myself, and luckily I am married, so I wouldn't want to go there. But I've really gone through. I mean, it's very sad. You meet somebody, you invest in, and that's why I like the comparison you made early on. You meet somebody, you study the person, you like the person, and you think it will end in marriage. So you invest into the person. Then somewhere along the line, they find reasons or it just doesn't work out, and then there's broken heart. I remember one time I was so broken hearted to the point that I was walking like a dog and hitting my palm on the floor because when I think about it, I swear the thing pains me. You know, what can we say? These are things that we go through, and some of us, we are lucky we have friends and family that help us go through this, and then we come out unscathed. We go through some pain, emotional distress, but yes, so we come out, and then we are able to move on and then do better. But then there are people that they go through this and then it gets them mad. People go through this, they take their life. People go through broken hearts and then they do, I mean, things you cannot say for the benefit of kids who may be watching this episode. But I want to know, why is it that Ghanaians do steady? It's like when we have something good that help us, we don't like things that we study that has the potential of hurting us, breaking our culture and breaking our identity and the things that we like. Because today we say we have dating, we have run away from courtship and we have come to dating and relationship, as compared to olden days where um, our forefathers and it's even the family. Your father will meet the father of the woman, and then they will arrange, and then they will introduce the two of you. And those relationships actually sustain themselves to the point that it ended in marriage and ended in in producing great grandchildren. I want to know, what do you think, or how has your understanding about love and relationship changed over time? And what do you think the Ghanaian or people of Ghana, the youth especially, their understanding about relationship, courtship, marriage, love, dating, and all these things, how has it changed and changed negatively?
Okay, to begin with, I would still go by saying our parents play a vital role nowadays. Yawofoɔ no, they play a very vital role in all of this. Because if person A introduces a poor, excuse me to say, a poor person, someone without much funds, but has the capacity and ability to be with his or her daughter or son, with the number, Mama, Dada, this is the person I have studied the person, Matanasi, who say, one way or the other, we can stay together until I need your blessing. It will surprise you. Some parents will just tell you, oh, oh yeah, Juma Bay. Oh, oh yeah, taxi driver, and I wouldn't have fee. Debbie. Yampe no. Ba ya wo boy ya bo ho kapa taxi driver, and I will be worry. School am de work yi. Ukuta masters, uko worry taxi driver. Forgetting say time changes. Bibia betimi asi. There was one funny, it's not even funny. It happened in the UK. This same issue is here, blacks. And God being so good, offer Obi, Nipa no offer no, or the four ankasakasa no offer. And then Nipa Nija, Nisika, huge amount of money, which I want back in a tax in him. And then this guy was able to pick the money, go to the person, Tracy. I mean, it took more than a week or two. And sana ohu nipakro. Because Ayana mostly these white people, Monama, they have their cards and all that in. We reported to the police station, Omu follow up. Got to a timer, Omu nipakro adiane. And then the police returned the money. Nipa na ya kana wasem sika nipa o. And God being so good, one J scan one CD. Sorry, one J
£1.
£1 from it. One J a pound from the total amount. And all this scanning in a chair taxi driver. No. Now, from the taxi driver era, money at me asset up businesses. Just because papa need the scanning man out of say when we say the man is really genuine because I mean yeah titi yeah I refer nipa saying any be hu o define say what who for no 100,000 Ghana cedis o be return it to the police station say o fa car na 100,000 Ghana cedis wo nti o be report it we won't yeah we nipa 1,000 you might get just two o me yes this man did this. And that out of that thing he did, it changed the story. The life me as a sign. Ono ano otwi obi taxi no. After ono timi to taxi emo obi. Na nipa no eh ya adwuma ma no. And then the lady got to marry someone on any tipping with regards to everything. When it comes to finances, educational background, whatever. I said no more match it. And this guy, like, only business potea no yet. But because everyone is mama say, just what the mama asamunechi. We are not saying don't listen to parents. No. Because even the Bible says, so udi wonya una anywhere ja near onkwanda beware wasase so.
Yeah.
So you can imagine. But not always. As you feel, sit them down, make them understand the reason why you chose person A or person B, or the reason why you want to marry person A or person B. There are times, whatever they had in mind, you're absolutely wrong. No two ways about it. At times, it does happen. Obedient said, now or more can you pepe. At the long run, na akɔwie bɔne. Nti our parents are part of the problems about dating and then courtship. Ɔmo ka ho.
Yeah, on that side, I want to delve deeper into that side. Often, I think, well, I'm married, so I have to tread cautiously when it comes to stuff, but I wouldn't want to cause that issue. I mean, yeah, but it's quite a an interesting point you've raised there, and I have seen people go through that same situation. I have also um, walked through a little on that trade, a little on that part, and it's true. Some parents are reasons why some relationship don't end up in marriage, or even some marriage gets broken down, because we know that there are some traditions not to be please don't get me wrong on this one, not to be tribalistic, but there are some tribes that often do advise their daughters that when you go to marriage, in that marriage, as you've stepped into, when you get properties, you bring it to the house, which is your family side. But then when you incur losses, it is for you and your husband to solve it. And so if your daughter is going to a marriage, and then you as a mother or as an auntie, you give such an advice, definitely it's not going to end well, and the marriage isn't going to be healthy. So there is no doubt about it. But then there is also the point where you marry and you realize that your wife's mother keeps whispering ideas into your wife's ears. And so the very woman that you knew, you studied, you fell in love with, you married, the behavior that you are well accustomed with suddenly changes, or you I mean you can sense it, because that's the person that you've shared your life with. You've given half of your heart to. So when the person changes, or when the person is talking to you, and you realize that it's not coming from your wife's own mind, you can attest to that. There are people that when they see this, they react. When they observe it, they react. There are people that their reaction is okay, let's break up. Their reaction is okay. I'm not even going to marry you. If you're lucky and it happens before marriage, the point is that you may choose whether to continue the marriage or not to continue the marriage. So we are talking here about interference of the family. At what point, if you are a guy, a man, you're willing to throw your heart down, give your heart to someone, at what point do you think it is good, it becomes a good fight to fight for? And at what point do you think parents, what is the line that parents should not cross? I want us to talk about this deeply, because you and I may have gone through, but there is somebody who is in it right now. And so I want us to dissect this very, very deep, very, very well. What is the limit that a parent must not cross? What is the line that a parent must not cross when a man brings their woman to the house, or when a woman brings their man to the house in an introductory form, that this is somebody that I am going out with, and I wish you can give me your blessing and then we marry?
At what point can a parent interfere in?
Oh, no, no, no. At what point shouldn't a parent? We don't want this to happen to people, because
Okay.
people are bleeding. And I think it, like you said, we are studying ourselves.
Yeah.
So if you're a parent and you keep interfering, you keep telling me, focus on this side, do this, then I will never be able to study the person. Because there are things that matter to you, the mother or the father, but they may not matter to me. There are things that I'm looking at for. And so I have to study the person and find out if in the future I live with this person and I try to do this, how is she going to react? If she reacts this way or that way, will I be okay with it or not? So, what is the line? Where, at what point should the parent know that if I go beyond this point, matra? So this is it. I should never go there.
Okay. So, um, first of all, is that a I can say too much of everything is bad.
Exactly.
Too much of everything is absolutely bad. As a parent, um, oba bɛrima de obi aba sɛ asomasi ɛna mpɛ sɛ me ne no tena bɔ bra. I mean, no two ways about it. You have a line. Ɛnyɛ asɛm biara na ɛyɛ sɛ wokɔ bɛrima no so. Sɛ bɛrima na de ɔbaa baeɛ so, ɛnyɛ asɛm biara na ɛyɛ sɛ wokɔ ɔbaa no so. Ɛne ne kɔ kasa direct. If there is anything you need to communicate, you definitely have to pass it through your immediate daughter or son. Nti sɛ me ba ɛrekɔ aware a na ɔde bɛrima aba sɛ ɔpɛ sɛ ɔware bɛrima no, ɔno na akɔ nante bɛka sɛ wakɔ kyindwam a ɛna wɔhu sɛ asomasi ɛna mpɛ sɛ me ne tena. Wobɛka a ɛyɛ sɛ me ne wo tena ase na mebisa na ne mfie ofiri he, ɔte he, ɔyɛ adwuma bɛn, na ɔhwɛ so a ne suban ɛte sɛn. So based on nea me ba no wo ka kyerɛ me no, I have to build upon it because menim bɛrima no baabiara. Nti based on what my daughter will tell me, I base on it. Na me nso me de m'ani ato fam ahwɛ sɛ nea me ba no kaeɛ no saa na aso bɛrima no saa na ɔteɛ anaasɛ ɛte sɛn. Ayɛ na papa ka asɛm bi kyerɛ me da biara sɛ ɔno ogyina fam a nea ɔhu no meyɛ de metena pepɔ so koraa no a menhu. Nti wo papa no anaasɛ ɛna no anaa agya no, wo na ɛyɛ sɛ wotena ase na wode w'ani to fam ɛhu bɛrima no suban na nhu wie na sɛ wowɔ asɛm bi a ɛyɛ sɛ woka a ɛhɔ no deɛ is between wo ne wo daughter no for the first time. Wo ne wo ba no asɛm. Wafrɛ no bɛrima yi mehu ne yie o, woka sɛ ɔyɛ sei nso ebi koraa no anaa no koraa wohu no sɛ ɔpie afiri baa mu kɛkɛ. Ɔba no ahu saa suman no, but wakɔhyia no wɔ baabi a ɛnyɛ baabi bɔne. Nti wo ne wo ba no atena ase woaka kyerɛ no na wo ba no so ahu sɛ okay me so me maame koraa so sei na wahu o, ɛno da ne tim o, ɛnyɛ adeɛ a ɔkɔka kyerɛ bɛrima no, ɔmfa n'ani nto fam na ɔno nso ɛnhu. Na ɛkɔba sɛ wo maame no huuɛ na asomasi wo na wobɛware me ba no ɛna wonam ɛfa sei wo na wonam ano ɛnyɛ yie. Ɛyɛ saa na sɛbe wo ba no koraa no wode n'anim ayɛ fam. Bra fie wo ne ne ntena ase, wo ne ne nkasa, wo ne ne kasa a ɛdɛn a sɛ nsɛm a wokaeɛ no ɛyɛ 10 ɔbɛfa mu 5 ɔfa otie ɛbɛboa ɔno a na sɛ woa wofa to wo so sɛ me ba bɛrima de asomasi aba mekɔ direct to that person ɛne na kɔkasa sɛ asomasi a wo ne no kɔtena ne deɛ mempene ɛma ne nyɛ yie a ɛne kyɛ sɛ o parental control no watra. Obiara wɔ ne limit a ɔde yɛ n'adeɛ. Ɛni kwan sɛ ɔtra. Ebi wohyia no deɛ wobɛtumi akyea no morning afternoon akɔ baby ɛte sɛn and all that. They are normal. But there are certain communications that you must keep to discuss with your son or daughter. Ansa na motu ho anamo. Ɛnyɛ biribiara na ɛwɔ sɛ wofa to ho so sɛ me ba na de naba nti ɔde naba no deɛ mewɔ ho kwan sɛ mafa no sɛ son-in-law whatever na menkɔka ho asɛm. No, ɛne deɛ it is totally wrong. So communication always communication is the heartbeat of every relationship. Communication is the heartbeat of every relationship. Look, who a partner na ono wo communicating that person is not your true partner. No matter what. So ono wo communicate here, forget it. That is what I would say.
Yeah, you touched on another point that I think this is really killing a lot of relationships and communication. So first of all, I want to ask this question because well, I've seen TikTok videos and I think it's kind of like in reality it is true. Miscommunication itself, communication, whether written or spoken, if not spoken well, if not spoken at the right time, at the right moment, in the right sentence, can even do more damage, more harm than it was intended to. So, for instance, um, when you are angry and you say yes, it's different from when you are happy and you respond yes to a single question, a repeated question. So I want to ask this question: that do you believe that communication is a skill that people can learn? Because women, you are taking us through some hell. You meet a woman or you even your own wife. I mean, my wife does. You ask your wife, "Are you okay?" She says yes. Like you're stepping out of the house. You're going somewhere. You've talked about it 2 weeks prior, so you assume that your wife is aware, knows that today is the day you are going to this place or that place. Then you realize the mood has changed, or even when you are oh crap, you are saying goodbye, and your wife responds, "Okay," you know that okay is not from the heart. So you ask, "Are you really sure you're okay with me going?" She says, "Yes." Take 2 steps. So are you really going? That's the wife asking you. So then, as a man, you become a bit confused. As I've told you 2 weeks ago, last week I did tell you again that I'll go today, and this morning I've told you. Now I am going, and you are asking, "Are you really going?" Such kind of communication, and really, really, if you don't do something and then you go immediately, she might not talk to you for the next 3 4 days, or she might miss. I mean, she will give you some, you know, and these are all kinds of communication. I cannot fathom what is going through my wife's head at that moment that she's asking, "Are you really going?" And I wouldn't want my wife to be angry at me, not talk to me for the next 3 4 days. But then how should my wife have communicated properly for me to know, oh, maybe don't go right now, or maybe postpone it to tomorrow, or maybe you should have gone yesterday, or perhaps maybe I just want you to hug me before you go. I don't know if you get
Yeah,
my
yeah.
so do you think communication is a skill that should be learned, so that at least when we enter into relationship we have a kind of communication skills that we will need to use to avoid certain drama and emotional drain in relationships?
All right. Um, so you need to be a good communicator. If you are not a good communicator, definitely relationship, open issues, marriage, the issues will come. Just like what you said. Ọbaa no kora betumi anka sɛ betumi aka sɛ, hey, baby, I'm going to miss you. Ɛno ɔkyerɛ wo sɛ kɔn a wokɔ no koraa no nhyɛ daa nyɛ ne de o. Nti wasesa wei no ɛde aba sɛ, baby, I'm going to miss you. See you soon. Ɔtwe w'adwene si so sɛ wokɔ no ɔde su na abɛhyɛ wo o. Wokɔ no ma nkyɛ brɛ fie. Na woba with a tone sɛ, are you going na? Once I've already informed you. Which is some way. But be nice, be calm. Now know how to ask or say it in a more polite way. Ah, ukunu no anaa wo boy no koraa no ɔrekɔ no n'ani ɛsan wɔ n'akyi.
Talk to me more.
So, baby, okay, meant to. I mean, you definitely. Then they say, baby, okay, meant to. Nti sɛ me kɔ no koraa no meyɛ wɔ metim sɛ me baby te fie a ɔretwɛn me
Oh.
so I have to come home early
Allah.
ɛnyɛ afei na mekɔhwɛ asomasia na mekɔhwɛ ɔbɛntin o my baby is at home but for that one me menya worry but for that one ɛnyɛ sɛ ɛyɛ ayi ka nka mefrɛ sisi a wɔte hey baby na wowɛn nti baby no ba a nea ɛbɛba akyire biara no ɛma makoma I know she's still thinking about you. Ba ọba bi bẹtumi afrɛ o na ne wɛn because ɛdɛ obi yɛ ɔma me ba I know sɛ me mma yɛ koraa no wapɛpɛ a table before me a yɛ ntɔkwa nti meba no wada na me so ma bɛda problem ni hɔ but imagine sɛ honey sweetheart wokɔ yi deɛ mesrɛ wo a mɛnkyɛ ɛma na yɛ moyɛ ne saa ma yɛ moyɛ ne saa a yɛkɔ a ne yɛtumi ayɛ dom yɛtumi ayɛ dɛ ni ani wɔ fie yɛsrɛ mo.
This one there, I support with 10 bags of cement. Because you can imagine. You can imagine. I mean, so let's come back to this issue. I mean, like I said, I went through broken hearts and I never want to go through. I mean, I will never go through a broken heart again because I'm married, and I know this is forever. So my wife, don't ever think of any ideas. This is going to be forever. Yeah, I went through broken heart, and sometimes when I sit down and I think about it, the one that really pained me to the point where I was crawling on the floor and slapping the floor and all those things. I think it really hurt me most because